Okay, for today's video, we're going to add this door pocket from a second gen Toyota 4Runner. It's off the front door. Just 4 bolts hold it on. We're going to locate it right here. It's good for holding cords for the charging system we have back here. We're going to make a template, drill some holes, and get it bolted up. These can be had from the junkyard. I think I paid $4 for this one. So all in, well under $20, less than an hour if you have ever taken the interior apart before. Okay, so as you can see, there's 7 total holes. 3 of them are taller, and they would protrude into the hardboard of the door panel, and those just help support weight. They don't actually take a screw. So I'm going to use this poster board here, press down onto it to give us our location of our holes, cut those holes, and then we'll mark for the 4 bolts that will hold it on. Okay, to mark our holes, I'm going to use the plushness of the carpet, place it on here, and where each pin goes, just kind of press it down, put some pressure. And that gives us our 3 spots. Kind of difficult to see on the film, but it does leave an impression where you can see your marks. Okay, so I'm just going to use this razor knife to cut out the circles. I just kind of put the paper down. Instead of trying to move the blade, I just rotate the paper around. Okay, take that, pop it over the holes. Made that one a little too small. So now we end up with this, and we can trace the pocket. All we really need is kind of the rough outline, mainly this top edge. And we'll do the corner, just like that. Okay, so for the holes that are actually going to take the screws, kind of the same principle as before. Just going to look down in here, see where they're at, and with my finger just press on it real hard, a little spin, and that should give us our mark. I call it the dirty finger method, because if your hands are a little dirty, it always leaves a mark. And pop it off, and we have our marks where our bolts need to go. Right there. Okay, so I cut the template down to the shape of the pocket, just so we have a real good reference of where the pocket's going to live. So we're just going to kind of eyeball what looks good. Right about there. tape it on. Just like that. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and pilot these holes with a 1/16 bit. Went ahead and marked this just for video's sake, what size the final holes will be. So the plastic drills real fast. There are some wires behind here, but I believe they're somewhere in this area, so just be careful as you go through the plastic. These here, I just put a black dot to indicate center, and I'll just drill on the dot. Got a little wonky, but it'll be okay. We'll make it work. Okay, now that we have the pilot holes, I can pull the template off, drill out to the proper size. You can drill through the template if you want. I'm going to take it off, drill it, and then I'll pull the panel out and get this pocket bolted on. Now we're just opening these up. I'm going to open all of them to 3/16, and then I'll come back and go 5/16 on the bigger pockets, the bigger holes. I'll switch to 5/16 real quick. These ones will get 5/16 bit. Okay, these should pop into our holes just like that, and we'll get the panel off and screw it on. Okay, so to get this side panel off, to make it easiest, we're just going to pop this bottom plate off. A couple screws along the bottom, 5 of them. There's a little tab under here that receives into this piece. You just kind of get your finger under there, give it a pry. These will pop out. Like that. Okay. And then I just use a little flathead screwdriver. Come up here to this light. Pop the cover off. There's several screws you have to take off right here. There's a clip right here. Disconnect that. Tricky one-handed, but it will work. Such. And then this panel here, it just has pop, like little pop-on rivets. Pretty much reusable until they're not. Eventually they will fail. I always get extras when I go to the junkyard. Just get your hand under there, start pulling it. Like that. This one is super dusty. Okay, so that panel's off. And then there's a screw right up there. You have to take that screw loose. Like that. There's a screw for the cargo cover holder. That one comes out. And then there's 2 more screws right in there that have to come out. Okay, with that cargo cover holder loose over there, this panel has some clips behind it. So you just kind of got to get a hold of it and start pulling on it, and this should release. Sometimes it can be difficult, sometimes they don't exist anymore. A lot of 4runners are already broken off, and the screws hold the panel good enough. So we're just going to pull on this a little bit, get everything to release like that. We don't have to pull it all the way out, just enough to get back here with a screwdriver to bolt them in. On the back here, there is a clip right here. You kind of got to pick up on it. It goes inside the hole. That's the only one that's kind of a pain in the butt. So now the pocket's out far enough, we can get the screws in it, and we'll get it put on. So to get behind the panel, just use a little Phillips, a little short one, and just reach your arm back in there, get everything lined up, put the screws in. Okay, we got the pocket screwed on now. Not going to go anywhere. So go ahead and get the panel pushed back up into place and re-screwed. You just kind of got to guide it back in, pretty much starting with that clip in the back that reaches into the hole. Once that's in, it pretty much all lines itself up. And then it's just a matter of putting the clips back in their hole and giving them a little hit. Just like that. Here pops back first and then pops in. Just a single screw holds it. Like that. We have one little screw goes up here. And then all that leaves you with is the bottom trim panel and the light in this top panel, which just pops back in and the light screws on. Same thing with this, just line up the tabs and hit them. Replug the light. lens cover just pops back in. That. And then that just leaves the bottom. I like to start with the tabs on the corner. Like that. It just kind of helps push everything into place. And we have the 5 screws. Put those back in. Alright, there we have it. The 2nd gen 4runner came in a similar, I believe it's still the same, Moon Mist blue or oak colored interior. So for the 3rd gens, Moon Mist blue, perfect match. On my 4runner I have the oak interior, so I just found one that had oak colored door pockets. Under 20 bucks. Cool little storage spot. Thanks for watching.